The article that our group chose to use was the Cloud Services Practices for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, written by Mary Lassity and Peter Reynolds. This article regarding cloud-based SMEs are that they are more profitable and more streamlined due to the efficiencies that come with cloud services. These efficiencies include reaction and flexibility to react quickly to business changes. The examples given are all three success stories that have had positive vendor experiences that are advocates of cloud-based service providers. An example of a negative experience could have been provided and how to correct the situation or how to avoid the occurrence altogether. However, tips were provided in the outlying document. The example companies are examples to where the internal stakeholders are not considered or consulted with. In fact, Andrew McAfee even advised CEOs to not delegate outsourcing solutions to technology managers versus obtaining their buy-in and leveraging their skill sets or experience. The tips do state that the buy-in of these parties is recommended. There's also an assumption that migration to the cloud will also allow companies to focus their goals on the target of sales and won't be burdened with support services. The major findings of this article are the value of cloud services and the challenges of adopting them. An SME's adoption of cloud services provides both economic and business value. For startups that are born in the cloud, by adopting cloud services from the very beginning, avoiding large amounts of capital to build servers, large amounts of expenses to maintain these servers, and a large amount of expenses to keep these servers secure. For more established companies, switching to cloud services provides substantial savings because cloud services provide protections and cost savings that could not be matched by keeping their business in-house. Some other extremely important factors for an SME to use cloud services include scalability, security, management simplicity, and strategic focus by employees. Scalability is important because if a company grows quickly, cloud services can support that growth. All four companies highlighted in this article mentioned how their cloud service providers provide superior IT security and resiliency over anything they could have built or maintained in-house. Security entails so many different things. It could be securing personal and financial data from hackers, or it could be keeping data safe from disaster or weather-related scenarios. Management simplicity and the ability to focus in-house staff on more strategic-based work also provides significant business value. While adopting a cloud service provides a lot of value, it is not without its challenges. Challenges that SMEs face when adopting cloud services, including getting stakeholders to buy in, finding a cloud service that matches their needs but is still affordable, keeping service providers' attention, and hiring IT employees to support cloud services. It is extremely important for an SME to get stakeholders' buy-in. An SME must educate stakeholders about the security and data protection that adopting cloud services provides. There is a lot that goes into finding a cloud service provider. An SME must find a service that matches their needs and that can offer services that are better and more reliable than what is currently in-house. Many times the adoption of a cloud service means less control over time and service performances, so that is something very important to keep in mind when trying to find a provider. It is also important to find a cloud service provider that is affordable. Once a cloud service provider is chosen, it is also very important to find a provider that will stay focused on that company's success and needs, regardless of the other companies that they service as well. An SME must also hire IT employees that will be able to support cloud services. In today's business world, in order for a company to succeed, having a competitive advantage in any aspect of your business is the formula for profitable sustainability. Cloud services bring both economic and business value to an enterprise, but these services can also bring forth negative perception from the community and customers. Before any organization moves forward on any project, 3 questions must be answered. Why the need for cloud services? What is the process pathway to transition to the service? And what are the benefits or trade-offs associated with the need? If any factors were missed during the transition, a detrimental mistake could determine the fate of a business. SMEs comprise a significant portion of the United States economy. Studies have shown that SMEs have been slow to adopt IT innovations due to their limiting factors, which in turn has stunted SMEs' investments in growth. The most recent studies have shown that cloud services are removing many barriers to provide the opportunity for growth. One of those limiting barriers was hiring the correct IT personnel to make the transition to cloud services. SMEs must position themselves to hire IT personnel that are multifunctional and bring a variety of skill sets to enhance their platforms. The new skills they must possess are more communication, people-oriented skills. As the technology changes, IT staff must break away from the norm, which is sitting behind a computer screen all day, and communicate with their external customers and users in an intelligent and coherent conversation. Part of Tango Card services is used by their customers, which are the reward recipients. To get a better perspective, talking to some of the customers could be beneficial to give insight on how the customer feels about cloud computing. Perhaps there are high lag times that slow down the process, or maybe the client actually does not feel as though their information is secure and the information received is trusted and secure. These are concerns that would be good to know so that issues can be properly addressed. In regards to Art World, the author could have also gained perspective by talking to the customers of Art World because of the high level of sensitivity of the information between the client and Art World. It would be insightful to know how the client feels about their privacy and security. In the case of Diesel Direct, it would be insightful to talk with the employees that use cloud computing every day, since they are the ones highly impacted by implementing the cloud. For the Dana Foundation, which has been around the longest out of the 4 companies, interviewing the stakeholders may be beneficial because perhaps they are the most reluctant to implement new technology and incorporate such a drastic change. In this case, building trust with the stakeholder would be a very important factor. It would be good to know how the stakeholders feel about the cloud computing technology. In the case of Tango Card and Art World, both companies that were born in the cloud, the author should provide the reader with a brief description of the IT infrastructure the CTO or director envisions. There is a short paragraph that briefly speaks about stakeholder buy-in. The question is, what exactly did they buy into? Both companies launched cloud services 12 months after inception. Quantification of minimum requirements to creating IT infrastructure, respective to both SMEs, would bolster the article. Same can be said for the Dana Foundation and Diesel Direct, which are 2 older companies. What was their existing IT infrastructure? Cloud services allow the ability to refresh an aging infrastructure. Specific examples of servers, email collaboration, archivability, disaster recovery, data space freed up, hardware that would be upgraded or eliminated are all greatly added suggestions. In an effort to make the article more emphatic, a section outlining how each SME successfully implemented cloud services into the organization would be beneficial to the reader. Did Diesel Direct start with server virtualization followed by storage virtualization? Did Artworld acquire virtualization-based management tools for monitoring? Was Tango Card able to add automation and orchestration tools? It seems that some of these activities that I just mentioned are essential for implementation. A sequential guideline would serve as a roadmap for readers looking to introduce this technology into their own organization would be beneficial. We believe suggestions are meaningful and implementable within the article. These suggestions would only strengthen the article from a reader's perspective, especially if the readers have limited knowledge of cloud services.